So, one of the things that I want to do first is introduce myself. For those of you that haven't met me yet, um, as that wonderful introduction said, I am a digital marketer. I've been in the digital marketing space for well over a decade. I'm also an NLP master coach and trainer. And my mission is really to empower business owners like you to shine in the digital arena. Now, one of the things that I get to update is that bio, because in the past year, I have actually pivoted my business away from a digital marketing agency and into a digital marketing consultancy. And there's a very specific reason behind that. While I was growing my agency, some of the people that I loved to work with the most were business owners who were in that earlier stages of business. They're not brand new, although some of them were, but a lot of them hit a revenue plateau, maybe at like $100,000 a year. And they just keep hitting this wall and they're not able to get beyond it. And what I found was that they couldn't afford to hire a digital marketing agency, or they hired one and didn't understand the what, why, and how of working with an agency and ended up feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what to do first or next. And sometimes, if they've worked with an agency in the past, they may have felt like they got burned by that agency. So, what I decided to do was shift gears and focus on you, the business owner who is striving to hit that $250,000, half million, $1 million mark, but you're just not sure how to do it. I provide you with actionable insights and strategies that will help you propel your business forward. And if this is the first time meeting me, I wanted to share a little bit of my story with you because I'm not just a digital marketing strategist. I'm also a mom of three amazing, dang near adult children in this picture here, and a wife and a business owner who has began her journey in the online world almost 2 decades ago, right after the birth of my second child. Since then, I've run my digital marketing agency for almost a decade, and I experienced the ups and downs in the online industry, in digital marketing, and felt the confusion of my clients that often came with navigating marketing strategies. Today, we're going to delve into creating a marketing strategy and plan that will help you grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact. So, welcome to the roadmap to profitable marketing, where your journey to mastery really does begin. I want to start with the fact that I see you. I know if you're anything like me or my clients, when you first started your business, you were so excited. You were ready to dig in and do all of the things that it took. And now it might feel like you're kind of standing at a crossroads with your big dream feeling more like a whisper in the wind than actual actions happening. It's like standing on the edge of your goals, but you're just not sure what the path is to get you there. And let's talk real here. You have been hustling hard. You're spending countless hours on social media. You're hoping to catch the right eyes, but it feels like you're often chasing shadows that just doesn't get there. And your leads feel like they're scarce. They come in ebbs and flows, this roller coaster that you're not sure how to manage. Digital marketing often feels like it's a giant puzzle where the pieces keep changing on you and you're not sure where to begin or where to go next. And if you're like a lot of my clients, you're just fed up. You're tired of trying to sift through this mountain of advice that you get from every marketing guru out there. You've tried to be the superhero of your own marketing, and let's face it, It was kind of like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. And you're at a point in your business and in your world where you realize that the strategies here that got you here won't get you to the next level. That roller coaster is exactly what we want to work on today. Attracting leads that don't just fit, that actually are your ideal clients, that they're not just coming in and knocking on your door, they're actually coming in and buying from you, that you're not trying to catch up with the ever spinning wheel in the digital marketing world. Because I know digital marketing can be a lot, not to mention trying to nurture those leads without burning out and figuring out what is actually working in this world and where you should go. Here's the good news. This masterclass is the compass. It's time to crack the code on digital marketing. Now, I do want to give you a heads up because digital marketing is not for everyone, and neither is diving into business. If you're not ready to deep dive into the heart of your marketing, if you're looking for an easy fix with no effort at all, then this might not be for you. This is for those who are ready to really dig in and grapple with the nuts and bolts of their marketing. Before we dive into the marketing, I actually have a workbook for everyone that I would like to share. I'm posting a link in the chat, and you are welcome to download the link now and go through it with me, or use it later to dive deep after you finish the training. And I also have a question for you as we dive into the training, or before we dive into the training. I know Colleen asked you what you were hoping to learn. My question is, what is the one thing or 12 things about marketing that drive you crazy? What is it that you don't understand? What is it that you're struggling to get to? I would love to make sure to answer all of your questions. Also, as we go through this training, make sure you put your questions in the chat. I did save time at the end of the training to answer as many questions as I can. So we're going to start with nailing the foundations of your marketing. The foundations of effective marketing is like hitting a jackpot for your business. Picture this for a second. Marketing is the heartbeat of your venture. It's what gets your brand out there. It's what connects you to your audience. And ultimately, it's what fills your pockets. But here's the kicker. Without a solid foundation, it's like building a skyscraper or a house on shifting sand. You need a rock solid base to support all of those big dreams and grand plans. Think of it this way. Setting up a strong marketing foundation is like preparing for a road trip. You wouldn't just jump into the car without Google. I wouldn't. I don't know about you. I get lost all the time. Similarly, in marketing, you really do need to know who you're talking to, what you're going to say, how you're going to reach them. It's like having clear goals, like how much money you want to make this year, how you plan to grow over the next year. And here's the deal. It's not just throwing stuff out there and hoping something sticks. It's about crafting a strategy that resonates, that feels authentic to you, that really connects with you and your audience. So let's dive into those foundations. We're starting with goal setting. If you've downloaded the workbook, this is page 1 of the workbook. Setting your business goals is kind of like setting the points on that GPS on your road trip. Your goals set up roadmaps, milestones, and without them, you're basically wandering around with a nice backpack full of tools. Yeah, like those crazy fun dancing on TikTok strategies and tactics. but there's no real destination to them. Here's the thing, goals give you a direction. They're your North Star. They're guiding your every marketing move you make, whether it's boosting sales or expanding your customer base or launching that game-changing product. Having clear goals means you're not just shooting in the dark. It's like having a roadmap that leads straight to success. Now imagine setting goals that are not just about numbers and stats. They're about your real desires and aspirations. We're talking about goals that get you excited every morning. We're talking also about SMART goals, making sure that they are specific, that they're measurable, that they are actionable, that they are realistic, and that they are time bound. Make sure these goals are realistic and also stretch you just a little bit. Because one of my favorite quotes is, if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough. Make sure that they scare you a little bit without stretching you so far that you'll break. Use the first page of the workbook to really map out your goals for the next 12 months. This is the scorecard for the year. It's what will make sure all of your marketing and actions support these goals. Our second part of the workbook is micro marketing goals. Goal setting is, I think, here's the thing. When you are talking about goal setting, it's not just revenue. Marketing is about all of the pieces of your business that you're trying to grow. So think of these as bite-sized snack pieces for your marketing strategies. They're small wins, they're stepping stones that lead you to those big, juicy goals you've been eyeing. Micro marketing goals could be as simple as increasing your Instagram following by 10% this month, or getting 20 new email signups, or boosting your website traffic, or improving your email marketing metrics like open rates or click-through rates. It might be content marketing targets like how many blog posts or videos or social media posts or podcasts are you going to do? Or lead generation goals. What's the specific number of new leads you need every month to get the number of sales you need to hit those revenue goals? It might be improving the quality of the incoming leads you have. Increasing your micro marketing goals, really focusing on them, will help you to understand if the pieces of your marketing strategy overall are working. Setting micro goals is kind of like building a ladder where the top shelf of your marketing is where all the good stuff is stored. Each rung gets you closer to reaching that goal. Our next section is your ideal client profile. And yes, a lot of you may have already done this, but have you done it deep enough? Identifying your target audience is really essential. It's the building block of your overall marketing, because you can't hit a bullseye if you don't know where the target is. So we want to make sure that we're going beyond just the demographics like age or location or job title, and diving into those psychographics, the things that are most important to your ideal client, because this is the secret playbook of attracting them and converting them into buyers. Psychographics are all about their attitudes, their interests, their personality, their values, what they're afraid of, what they're frustrated with. What is it that you help them understand or do? We want to be able to cut through the noise of the insanity that we call today's digital world. And the only way to do that is to speak in a way they can hear. So crafting messages that resonate so deeply with your audience that they feel like you're reading their minds will help you to create a increase in business to the point where you get to maybe shift or pause or make the revenue that you've always dreamed of. When you get to really know their deepest desires, their deepest struggles, what drives their decision making, this isn't just marketing, it's building a connection and a relationship. And when you connect like that, selling becomes a whole lot easier and more effective because you're no longer just a service provider. You're a problem solver. You might even feel like a mind reader. You're answering their needs. So take the time you need to deep dive into the hearts and minds of your audience and start making some real meaningful connections with them. Let's dive into our marketing strategy. A killer marketing strategy is the secret sauce to turning your business into a success story. Your marketing strategy is like your favorite recipe. Sure, you can throw in a bunch of ingredients together and hope that it tastes good. But when you follow a well thought out recipe, you know you are in for something special. That's what a solid marketing strategy does. It takes the foundational elements of your business, who you are, what you do, who you serve, what makes you stand out, and it mixes them into a plan that's memorable and keeps people coming back over and over again. A targeted marketing strategy is like having a GPS for your business journey. It gives you a literal roadmap. It keeps you on track and saves you from wandering around throwing spaghetti at the wall. It saves time, and more importantly, it will save you money. When your marketing plan aligns with your business's goals and your values and your ideals, it's like hitting the marketing jackpot. So you're not just tossing out messages and hoping that something hits. You're launching targeted, impactful marketing campaigns that resonate, that engage, and that convert. This isn't just about getting seen, it's about getting results. So when it comes to your marketing strategy, there are several components that we're going to cover. And your workbook will have a section for each of these parts. Make sure that you use it to create your overall strategy. Having a solid content and visibility strategy is like having the ultimate secret sauce for your marketing. And think of it this way. You may have the best product, service, or solution out there. You're the best in their industry. But if no one knows you exist, how are they going to connect with you? That's your business without a killer content and visibility strategy. Your brand, the stories you tell, the values you share, the personality you showcase, it's how your audience gets to know, like, and trust you. So we're talking about things like blog posts and social media and videos and podcasts, all of the stuff that makes your audience go, hey, I need this person in my life. Really creating a marketing strategy that is sound and based off of knowing your audience like the back of your hand. This is where you're the detective. It's that foundation, taking that foundation and understanding them better than anyone else so that you're able to talk about their interests, their struggles, their challenges. You want to know where they're hanging out online, even what they find funny, how they connect with people. It helps you to create content that really resonates deeply with them. So you get to connect with them and build a relationship with them. And you get to tailor your content around your audience. You also want to be strategic about where this content is going. Don't just throw content out everywhere. See what's and just to see what's stick. Choose your platform intentionally. Understand where your audience actually spends most of their time. If they love Instagram, be there with bells on. If they're more of a LinkedIn crowd, spend all of your time there. Remember, it's not just about being seen, it's about being seen in the right places by the people that you actually want to see you. And once you've picked your platform, optimize your content for it. A killer YouTube video might need a little bit of tweaking to shine on Facebook and Instagram. Let's be honest, every platform has a different feel to it. What works on Facebook doesn't necessarily work on Instagram. And your TikTok video, while it can transport to Instagram, may or may not work, and vice versa. Understand what's going to work in the platform that you decide. And the last piece of your content and visibility strategy is really about consistency. Consistency is king. It is about quality over quantity and being consistent about what you're putting out. Regular content keeps you on your radar, and high quality, valuable content keeps your audience coming back for more and more. Develop a content calendar that helps you maintain the consistency and the quality of your post. Each piece of content should add value, whether it's educating, entertaining, or inspiring your audiences. And one of the things that people miss the most is asking for the sale within your content. You absolutely don't want to do that on every piece of content, and you don't want to avoid it either. If you are constantly putting out content without actually directing them to the next step of working with you, you are going to miss out on a lot of business. Lead generation. I think lead generation strategy it's something that people struggle with the most. And when you hit it and get it right for your business, it's like hitting the jackpot. If you think about lead generation as your own personal business matchmaker, I mean, if you don't know, that's the name of my podcast, Marketing Matchmaker, because lead generation is all about finding the right people and bringing them into your world. It's not just about pulling in a bunch of random people. It's about attracting the right ones, those who are generally interested in what you've got to offer. When you get this part right, you're not just kind of casting a net and fishing. You're actually deliberately using a magnet to draw in the right potential clients, those that are a perfect fit for you and your product, service, or solution. A top-notch lead generation strategy. Whoops, I rolled that too fast. It really, you want to focus on 3 primary points of that. Map out your customer journey, every single detail of it. Start by laying out the entire journey from the moment they first hear about you to the final sale. Think about it as that roadmap again, and these are the points on the roadmap that you need to stop at so that you know every turn and stop along the way. This includes things like how they're going to find you. So is it social media? Is it ads? Is it blog posts, podcasts, YouTube channels? What's their first interaction with you? Is it signing up for a lead magnet or a newsletter, a webinar, a training? And then every touch point after that leads up to the sale. Pay special attention to those critical decision-making points, those moments where your leads decide whether to engage further with you or walk away. Understanding these moments will help tailor your strategy to effectively guide them to the next step. Part 2, craft an irresistible lead magnet. Your lead magnet should be something so compelling that your audience can't resist giving you their information to get it. This could be a quiz, an ebook, a webinar, a training. It could be a resource guide, a checklist. There's a million ways to go about this. The key is to offer real value, something that addresses a specific problem and need that they have. Ensure that your lead magnet smoothly transitions into your paid offer. The journey of your lead magnet to your paid offer should feel like a natural next step, not a jarring leap. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. If you are, let's say, doing sales, you're a sales coach, your lead magnet needs to be about what their problem is in that moment. So, what are they struggling with most? If it's sales, it's actually closing sales. So, 3 tips to close your next sale. What we want to avoid is making the route so windy to get to your paid offer that you lose them. So if you start with mindset, while we all know sales needs mindset, if you start there, you have to work it through and explain to them why. We want to avoid having to explain to them why your lead magnet connects to your paid offer. Make sure that it is a direct line. Use your email sequences to educate them and get valuable insights and nurture your leads. Show them the benefits and results of your paid offer and how it builds the solution they've been looking for. This takes your lead generation to the next level. Remember, the art of generating leads is about drawing in the right people and then guiding them towards making a purchase. It's a dance of attraction and nurturing. And when you get the steps right, you really do get to watch your business grow. Speaking of nurturing, this is another area I see a lot of business owners neglect. They may bring hundreds, maybe even thousands of people onto their email list. I actually had a client once who had 15,000 people on his email list, but he never communicated them past the one webinar that sold his product. This nurture sequence, the nurture strategy within your marketing, it's like pouring gasoline on your marketing. Once you've got their attention to bring them in, you want to make sure that you're keeping them engaged because they may not be ready to buy on that first step. Think of it as keeping a conversation going. We want to make sure it's interesting and meaningful. It's about building that relationship beyond just making the sale. Because people buy from businesses they know, like, and trust. They need to be trusting you and feeling connected to who you are and what you do. So your nurture strategy is really a tool to help build that. Crafting an incredible nurture strategy is like building a bridge between you and your potential clients. So make sure that you're delivering valuable content consistently. That client of mine who was struggling to get to the next level literally doubled his business just by creating a nurture strategy and keeping those business. And when I say he doubled his business, he went from 30,000 to 80,000. So more than double per month. He ended up with $1 million business just by using a nurture strategy effectively. Step 2 in your nurture strategy is to design this email sequence so that it is purpose driven. Your emails are a powerful tool to guide your clients along that path, along that customer journey. And each email should have a specific purpose, whether that's educating them, building trust, or selling them. Craft your emails so that their content is compelling and their call to action is something that they just can't not do. And part 3 is make sure that you are nurturing across multiple platforms. Don't just put all of your eggs in one basket. Sometimes people don't open their emails or it may get lost in spam. So make sure that you are nurturing your audience everywhere on social media, on their emails, listening to your podcast. Develop a multi-channel nurturing strategy that meets them where they are and where they spend their time so that you can tailor that message to them and it fits every person at the point they are at. Conversion strategy. I think a lot of people struggle with this piece, and it can be a total game changer for your business. Think about it from this perspective. You've got an audience who is tuned in, they're engaged, they're interested. But what's the point that you turn their interest into action? A conversion strategy is your recipe for doing that. Think of your conversion strategy as the grand finale of your marketing. It's where you bring all of your marketing efforts into one place. It's where your ROI comes in. There are a couple of things that you can do to make sure that you have a killer conversion strategy. We're going to start with tech because I think a lot of people forget this. Make sure that your website, that your buying process on your technology is intuitive, that it's user-friendly, that it's not complicated or confusing, that it's easy to navigate and clean and has really clear calls to action. Also, make sure that it's mobile optimized because in today's world, almost everybody uses this handy dandy little device. So make sure that you are actually optimizing for that. Craft a compelling, clear call to action in every step of your conversion strategy. Our audiences want and need to be invited to buy from you. Make sure that you are doing that. And then use things like social proof and case studies so that the people who you are connecting with learn that other people have also gone through it. Testimonials, case studies, real stories, they add credibility and can tip the scales in favor of buying for you. A killer conversion strategy isn't just about getting that immediate sale. It's about creating a seamless and trust-inspiring journey that makes your customers feel confident and excited about their purchase. Our next strategy, our next piece of our strategy is your data. I know, I can almost hear the groans from here. Your marketing data is like a treasure map. Every click, every like, every share, every email open, they're not just numbers. They're clues. They give you information about your audience and what's working and what doesn't, which allows you to then take a detour if necessary. Understanding your marketing data is about making smart, informed decisions. It's like having your business journey mapped out and knowing where that, well, if we're going to go back to that whole road trip, the potholes are or the detours are. Understanding the what of your data allows you to understand the why of it. Why are certain posts getting more engagement? Why did one email outperform another? When you start understanding the whys, that's when you really get to begin to craft marketing strategies that hit the mark. It's about refining your efforts over and over and doubling down on what's working, saying goodbye to what isn't. Getting up close and personal with your marketing data means smarter spending, better targeting, and ultimately a strategy that's not just a shot in the dark. It's not based on your feelings. A well-formed strategy, understanding your data, allows you to leap into your business goals. So make sure that you've identified your key metrics. Which ones are the ones that are most important to you? Is it your website traffic, your conversion rates, your engagement rates on social media, your email opens, your click-through rates? Those are all pieces of your metrics that could be important to understanding what your goals are. Make sure that you are regularly checking in on your data. So this isn't a set it and forget it. This is coming back to it over and over again to make sure that what you're doing is working. It also helps you to understand your customer journey, where there might be breaks. So maybe you've brought someone in through a quiz and you've taken them through an email sequence, and you realize that in that email sequence, email 4 gets almost no open rates. That might be the one that people start dropping out of your email sequence entirely for. Maybe that's where you get to make changes and adjustments. It allows you to make small tweaks along the way without throwing out the whole thing and starting over again. Mastering these aspects of your data, you'll be better equipped to steer your marketing efforts in the most effective direction, which will ensure that every decision is data-driven and every strategy is fine-tuned for success. And our last piece of our marketing strategy is our marketing budget. Here's the thing about marketing. It's our marketing budget. It's like having a financial roadmap. It gives you a clear picture of what you can spend, where you can spend it, and what you're expecting in return. It's all about making smart choices with your resources. A well-planned budget prevents you from overspending or underinvesting, both of which can stall out your business. It also helps you to react faster to make changes. If a strategy isn't working, you'll know because you're tracking your spending and its results, allowing you to pivot without crashing your financial plans. A marketing budget isn't just about keeping tabs on your spending, though. It's a strategic tool that aligns your financial goals with your marketing goals. It forces you to prioritize and focus on what really moves the needle for your business. With a budget, you can hone in on high impact strategies that drive growth rather than spreading yourself too thin. Think of it as your business's financial compass, guiding you through the world of marketing with a clear sense of direction and purpose. In the workbook, I've set up some questions to help you develop a marketing budget. And the most popular question I get is, how much should I spend on my marketing? Determining how much you spend on your marketing can often feel like trying to hit a moving target, especially when you're juggling the unique needs and goals of your business. And there is a manageable approach to this. A common rule of thumb when it comes to your marketing budget is allocating a percentage of your revenue in your business to your marketing. For an established business, sometimes that's 5, 10, 15, 20%. However, if you're in growth mode or startup mode, this number might jump to 12 to 20%. It really depends on things like your industry, your competition, how aggressive your growth goals are. On average, your percentage of your budget is between 10 and 30% of your revenue. And if you're wanting to grow, it's 10 to 30% of the revenue you actually want to hit. Be flexible about your budget. Allocate a portion of your budget for testing so that you can test new markets, new strategies. Digital marketing landscape changes. It evolves on a regular basis. What worked last year may not yield the same results now. So having a portion of that budget allows for testing, allows you to make those changes when you need it. And make sure that you're always keeping an eye on your return on your investment. If certain marketing efforts are yielding a high ROI, it makes sense to move your budget in that direction. And if you notice that certain things are not yielding an ROI for you, cut back on those strategies that aren't performing as well. Keep in mind that these are guidelines. They're not hard and fast rules. The key is to start somewhere, measure your results, and adjust as needed. It's a continuous process of testing, learning, and refining. So don't be afraid to shift your budget as you learn what's best for your business. All of this training is awesome. And if you don't take action with it, if you don't use the workbook to develop your marketing plan, it's just a whole lot of hot air. Creating an action plan to implement your marketing strategies effectively involves breaking them down into manageable steps, clear timelines, and assigning responsibility. Here's the thing, you don't have to do it all yourself, but what you definitely have to do is set your goals, set your micro goals, create the strategy from top to bottom, and then create a calendar that helps you map out that strategy. If you don't know how to do something, or if you are overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do, allocate resources to taking care of that. Determine what resources you need for each part of your strategy. This includes things like tools and people and cost for pretty much every piece of your marketing. Ensure that the necessary resources are available and allocated so that you can effectively do that. And then if you have a team, assign responsibilities to them. Delegate what it is that you aren't required to do, especially if it's not in your skills or areas of expertise. If you're a solopreneur and you're struggling in that area where you can't necessarily hire a team, at least hire a coach that can help you understand what it is you need to do and help you get there. And then make sure you're executing every step of the way, even if it's small things. Having a marketing strategy doesn't mean that you have to dive into the deep end. It just means that you get started. I have a special gift for all of you. I am offering you a 30-minute strategy call so that we can dive into any in-depth questions you might have about your strategy and really help you to create one that is effective. In the chat, there's the link virtualmarketingexpert.grow.me. That is the link to a strategy call. Please feel free to take advantage of it. I'm doing this for the next 2 weeks. So the slots are the slots. I only have a limited number. And if you want to get on my books, do it as quickly as you can.